Hello everyone, welcome back to my second weekly journal. So the capital budgeting is investment analysis to calculate whether the business or the project that will be established is it valuable or not, or is it worth it or not. So the first one we can use by calculating the net present value. So it's a difference between the money received and the money issued by observing the time value of money. So these are the three things that we have to consider before we find the NPV. So this is all the formula that we have to calculate. Can you put it using an Excel? And the first time before you calculate, you have to complete the cash flow first, because there are three things that we have to find: the net cash flow and the time cash flow, and then you can find the discount rate used. Okay, so the amount of result that we will get by the NPV. So if the result is more than a zero, then the investment is worth it. But if it's less than a zero, it's not worth it. Also, if it equals to zero, it's still not worth it. Yeah, because the amount money if you give will get the same amount you receive, it's still not worth it. So moving on, similar to the NPV, there is a profitability index. Okay, it's the formula is quite similar, yeah, but the difference is um, the NPV is using an absolute measure, by the profitability index is using the relative measure. So it's a measure of projects of investment attractiveness. It's calculated by dividing the present value of future expected cash flow by initial investment amount in the project. And the second one is the internal rate of return. So it's an indicator of the level efficiency of the investment. It can be carried out in the rate of return is greater than the rate of return when investing in another place, bank deposit, and etc. And ERR mostly used in determining whether the investment is implemented or not. For this reason, it usually used as a reference that the investment made must be higher than the minimum acceptable rate of return. Okay, the formula is this. The ERR value is R and the value of NPV is 0. So the calculation needs to be done by trial and error until the NPV value is close to 0. And then the result is, if the ERR is more than discount factor, then the investment is worth making. So it correlates, yeah. And then if the same amount, the ERR is more than the discount factor, then it's not worth it. Let's say that discount factor is 7%. If the ERR is less than the 7%, and it's still not worth it. And the third one is payback period. So the payback period is the time required for funds invested in an investment to be fully recovered. From the result of this payback period analysis, the business can find alternative that will be chosen as investment. So these are the formula. Okay, then if same amount, if the payback is faster than the required time, let's say that the required time is 5 years, and then you calculate the payback period, and then it's become 3 years, and the payback period is worth it. Alright guys, that's it for this week. I hope you like my lesson. I will see you again in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for your time.